the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rob Suzon every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. One AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Philippine Army deploys rescue teams across northern Luzon amid heavy rains. 12th Infantry Battalion troops clash with NPA rebels in Capiz, recover high-powered firearms. 3 dead, 3 injured due to Krising and Habagat. President Marcos and U.S. President Trump talks to focus on U.S. tariffs.
Good day everyone, as well as our troops at Camp Emilio Aguinaldo, Quezon City. Today is Monday, July 21, and we will bring you the latest news from the armed forces and other information around the Philippines. In behalf of Rob Suzon, this is Jhai Simbajon for AFP Community News.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
The Philippine Army has deployed its humanitarian assistance and disaster response teams to various parts of northern Luzon to assist in evacuating residents affected by widespread heavy rainfall. According to the PA, several disaster rescue and response units from Philippine Army major units have been sent to different communities and will remain until the severe weather subsides. They are also equipped to conduct clearing operations and assist in areas hit by landslides, rock slides, and soil collapse. In addition to life-saving rescue missions, the teams are tasked with supporting ongoing relief operations in affected areas.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
And soldiers from the 12th Infantry Battalion engaged in a clash with New People's Army rebels in Barangay Apero, Tapaz, Capiz. Around 10 armed insurgents opened fire at the troops during a security operation. According to the 12th IB commanding officer, Lieutenant Colonel Vicel Jan C. Garsuta, the soldiers swiftly returned fire, forcing the rebels to retreat in different directions. Troops recovered 1 M16 rifle and 1 AK-47 rifle, both loaded at the encounter site. No casualties were reported on the government side. Pursuit operations are ongoing with forces from the 12th Infantry Battalion and 31st Division Reconnaissance Company tracking the fleeing rebels to ensure the safety of nearby communities.
DWDD Armed Forces News. Armed Forces Radio.
From Iloilo, let us hear more update outside our station. Let us hear more from Gio about 61st Infantry Battalion joins outreach program to support youth in Iloilo. Go on for the details, Gio.
The 61st Infantry Battalion joined the Tubungan Riders Outreach Program in Barangay Bato, Tubungan, Iloilo yesterday. Troops partnered with local officials, educators, and civic groups to promote youth development and education. The event featured values lectures, a feeding program, games, and distribution of school supplies. The activity showcased strong collaboration between the military and community in supporting children and strengthening local ties. This is Gio reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Gio.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
And the Philippine Army and Royal Cambodian Army concluded their 18-day bilateral training at the RCAF Training Center in Kampong Sepo, Cambodia. Special Forces and Scout Ranger units from both countries trained on urban infantry operations and combat tracking, while combat engineers exchanged expertise on collapsed structure search and rescue. Army Chief Lieutenant General Roy M. Galido lauded the joint effort and emphasized its role in strengthening regional cooperation and interoperability. He also thanked the Cambodian Army for its professionalism and urged continued collaboration.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
And the Philippine Navy's BRP Juan Magluyan PC-392 swiftly rescued 4 individuals from a capsized motorized bangka near Pababag Island, Tawi-Tawi. While on routine patrol under Joint Task Force Poseidon, PC-392 spotted the distressed boat and quickly responded despite rough seas. The crew safely recovered all passengers and their vessel, MB Adam Daniel, within 20 minutes. The survivors en route to Simunal Island were unharmed and later turned over to Naval Intelligence for assistance.
Forces Radio.
Now, some information from Siya about 73rd IB kicks off Nutralympics 2025. Siya?
The 73rd Infantry Neutralizer Battalion launched Nutralympics 2025 at its headquarters in Malita, Davao Occidental to celebrate its 37th founding anniversary. The event began with a vibrant parade, team yells, and ceremonial torch lighting. Troopers will compete in various games designed to build strength, teamwork, and sportsmanship. 73rd IB Acting Commander Lieutenant Colonel Julius V. Taniza highlighted the event's importance in fostering unity and boosting morale among soldiers. This is Shaina Raneta reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for a Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Siya.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
And the Armed Forces of the Philippines reaffirmed that the West Philippine Sea is non-negotiable following the 9th anniversary of the 2016 Hague ruling favoring the Philippines. AFP-WPS spokesperson Rear Admiral Roy Vincent Trinidad stressed that the ruling is binding under the international law and must be respected. He denied claims that the AFP is preparing for offensive action, saying efforts focus on defending Philippine territory. Rear Admiral Trinidad reported a rise in foreign maritime presence, including up to 49 Chinese vessels in June, but assured the military remains vigilant through constant patrols and monitoring.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
And for our national news,
DWDD National News.
3 persons died while 3 others were injured due to the floods and landslides triggered by severe tropical storm Krising and the southwest monsoon. The National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council said 2 of the fatalities were from northern Mindanao while the other was from Davao Region. The reports have yet to be validated. 3 persons in Western Visayas were reported missing. Meanwhile, all of the injured persons were from Soc-Sargent.
DWDD National News. Armed Forces Radio.
From Northern Luzon Command, let us hear some information from Joanne about 77th Infantry Battalion conducts humanitarian and civic assistance operations in Ilocos Norte in response to Typhoon Krising. Joanne?
The 77th Infantry Battalion, 5th Infantry Division Philippine Army, in partnership with various local government units, conducted a series of humanitarian and civic assistance operations across Ilocos Norte on July 19, 2025. In coordination with the Provincial Social Welfare and Development Office, the unit provided manpower assistance in the preparation of more than 1,000 food packs at Barangay 16, San Nicolas, Ilocos Norte. A total of 1,000 food packs were also distributed to residents of Barangay Caruan, Pasukin, Ilocos Norte who were affected by Tropical Storm Krising. The unit also joined Municipal Council in an infrastructure inspection and assessment of damaged properties at Barangay Elizabeth Marcos, Ilocos Norte. These efforts form part of the Philippines Army's ongoing commitment to support communities affected by calamities through coordinated relief and rehabilitation initiatives. This is John Sagaok reporting for AFP Community News 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Joanne.
DWDD National News.
And more than 500 families have evacuated in Quezon City due to floods and heavy rainfall caused by the southwest monsoon and enhanced by severe tropical storm Krising. The city government said 556 families or 938 people have been evacuated. Most of the evacuees were from Barangay Bagong Silangan, where at least 100 families fled their homes. According to the city government, the evacuation center implemented a new system involving the issuance of evacuation cards to affected families.
DWDD National News.
And the Department of Human Settlements and Urban Development is preparing post-disaster assistance to residents whose houses were damaged by severe tropical storm Krising. The HSUD Undersecretary for Disaster Response Henry Yap said that the agency instructed the regional offices in Krising-affected areas to work closely with local government units and other state agencies for the delivery of post-disaster assistance. Yap also called on key shelter agencies, the Pag-ibig Fund, Social Housing Finance Corporation, the National Home Mortgage Finance Corporation, and the National Housing Authority to also extend assistance to the victims. He added that this may include amortization relief or breaks, community assistance on resettlement and project sites, and provision of hygiene kits.
DWDD National News. Armed Forces Radio.
And from our reporter on the ground, let us hear the report of Mike about 14th Infantry Battalion distributes free slippers to children in southern Leyte. Mike?
The 14th Infantry Battalion give free slippers to children in Barangay Pancho, Villa, Sugod, Southern Leyte. The effort benefited 30 barefoot children through the Chinelas para sa Kapayapaan project. It was supported by the 805th Community Defense Center and OFW partner, Jean Carlson. The activity highlighted the Army's ongoing commitment to community care and support. This is Mike reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Mike.
DWDD National News.
And 3 major dams in Luzon released water yesterday. Pag-asa said that Ipu Dam in Bulacan had a water level of 100.50 meters. The dam spilling level is 101 meters. Pag-asa said 1 gate was opened to regulate the water flow. In Benguet, ang Buklao Dam's water level rose to 751.78 meters, just below its 752 meter spilling level. 1 gate was also opened. Binga Dam, also in Benguet, increased its water release by opening 2 gates.
DWDD National News.
And President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. arrived in Washington, D.C. at 2:48 a.m. this morning. PBBM is set to meet with U.S. President Donald Trump at the White House. He is also scheduled to visit the Pentagon for meeting with Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and Secretary of State Marco Rubio. Philippine Ambassador to the United States Jose Manuel Romualdez said Marcos and Trump are set to discuss defense and security.
DWDD National News. Armed Forces Radio.
And now let us hear more updates from Jimboy about 73rd Infantry Battalion welcomes new privates through traditional reception rites. Jimboy?
The 73rd Infantry Neutralizer Battalion welcomes newly assigned private through traditional reception rite held at its headquarters in Malita, Davao Occidental yesterday. The ceremony marked their official entry into the unit and symbolized their readiness to take on the duties and responsibility of the neutralizer troopers. It's also aimed at strengthening camaraderie, discipline, and esprit de corps among the soldiers. The battalion congratulated the new private and encouraged them to serve with honor, integrity, and dedication. This is Jimboy reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Jimboy.
DWDD National News.
The impending increase in tariffs to be imposed by United States on the Philippine exports will be taken up by President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. when he meets with United States President Donald Trump. This will be the highlight of Marcos's 3-day official visit to the United States. In his speech, Marcos said the meeting is essential to advance the country's national interest and strengthening alliance. The president was accompanied by key members of his cabinet, including Secretary of Foreign Affairs Maria Teresa Lazaros, Secretary of National Defense Gilberto Tidoro Jr., Secretary of Trade and Industry Cristina Roque, and National Security Advisor Eduardo Año.
DWDD National News.
And President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. is involved very personally in preparing for his 4th State of the Nation address. This is according to Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin. Bersamin said the SONA is of utmost priority to Marcos since it is his report to the people. He further noted that PBBM has outlined talking points for his address. The palace official added that the president is also likely to include anything worth reporting from his face-to-face meeting with Trump during his ongoing U.S. visit.
DWDD National News. Armed Forces Radio.
More updates from Leonor about 39th Infantry Battalion. Partners deliver aid and peace message to a community in Sultan Kudarat. Leonor?
Charlie Company of the 39th Infantry Battalion led a successful outreach program in Sitio Lincos, Columbian, Sultan Kudarat, benefiting over 115 residents. In partnership with local government offices, Professional Regulation Commission 11, and Caring Hearts, the team provided medical services, food packs, hygiene kits, and children's supplies. The activity included a peace and security dialogue warning residents about deceptive recruitment by communist terrorist group. The effort highlighted the Army's commitment to community welfare and peace building in remote areas. This is Leonor Tanap reporting for AFP Community News, 1FP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Leonor.
DWDD National News.
And President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. lamented that online gambling is destroying families, as he noted that it has become more accessible to Filipinos because of technology and digitalization. In his latest vlog, Marcos said many families are being destroyed by online gambling, especially if it is used irresponsibly. PBBM added that technology is here to make lives easier, to make the Filipino family successful and united, and not to destroy it. While he acknowledged progress in the government's digitalization program, the president also mentioned the use of technology for scams and misinformation.
DWDD National News.
And First Lady Liza Araneta Marcos shared emotional moments from her working visit to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. This came after meeting Filipino mothers and distressed women staying in shelters. In a series of Instagram posts, the First Lady said she was deeply touched by the resilience and sacrifices of the women she met at Bahay Kalinga, a government-run shelter for overseas Filipino workers, and at a female shelter in Riyadh. She emphasized that Filipinos working overseas, especially those in difficult situations, must feel the care and support of their home country.
DWDD National News. Armed Forces Radio.
From Southern Luzon Command, let us hear from Jess about 902nd Infantry Brigade leads emergency response in Camarines Sur. Jess?
Troops of the 902nd Infantry Fight and Serve Brigade conducted a rescue and retrieval operation in response to an incident involving the collapse of a large acacia tree that caused severe damage, injuring 2 individuals and claiming the lives of 2 others. The incident occurred at noon on July 18, 2025 in Barangay New Moriones, Ocampo, Camarines Sur. The 902nd Infantry Brigade immediately responded to the scene in coordination with the Ocampo Municipal Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Office, Ocampo Municipal Police Station, and Bureau of Fire Protection. The joint team carried out urgent rescue operation, provided first aid to the injured, and worked to recover the victims from the site. The 902nd Infantry Brigade remains steadfast in its commitment to serving the Filipino people, not only in matters of security, but also during times of disaster and emergency. This is Jess from Salcom reporting for AFP Community News, 1AFP for a Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Jess. Let us hear more from Mel Joy of 1st Civil Relations Group about Northern Luzon Command's Air Force unit gears up for Tropical Storm Krising. Mel Joy?
Yes, Jhai, as part of Northern Luzon Command's commitment to proactive disaster response, our Philippine Air Force units under Northern Luzon Command have activated their contingency protocols and set on high alert for the possible effect brought by Tropical Storm Krising. Air assets and personnel are on standby, ready to deliver immediate support for aerial reconnaissance, transport of relief goods, medical evacuation, and search and rescue operations. Aircraft maintenance teams are also ensuring mission-ready status of all critical air platforms. Close coordination between the Air Force and other units of Northern Luzon Command's Disaster Response Task Force, as well as local government agencies and humanitarian partners, ensured seamless and timely operations. This reflects Northern Luzon Command's core values, where our troops continue to serve with courage, diligence, discipline, and responsibility, always ready to extend a helping hand to our fellow Filipinos in times of need. This is Meljo Inesio Arroco reporting for AFP Community News, 1AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Mel Joy.
DWDD National News.
For our final news, the election period and the gun ban will be implemented starting August 14 in the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao. This is ahead of the October parliamentary elections. The Commission on Election reminded those in BARM who need to carry guns outside their homes to secure the necessary exemption from the poll body. Pamela Commissioner Amy Farolino explained that once the gun ban takes effect, they must have their certificate of authority before they can carry their firearms outside their residence. According to Farolino, those who have been issued CAs during the May 2025 midterm polls are only required to apply for an extension since they have already submitted the requirements.
DWDD National News.
And that's all for today's broadcast. Thank you for joining us, especially to our audience in our Facebook page, AFP Radio DWDD. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow for more updates, same time, same station. Again, this is Jhai Simbajon for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Behold the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rob Suzon every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. One AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Ito ang DWDD 1134 kHz AM. Balita, impormasyon at musika. Ito ang DWDD AFP Radio. Boses ng Kawal Pilipino.
Kayo ay nakatutok sa DWDD AFP Radio. Kami po ay kasapi ng KBP, Kapisanan ng mga Broadcaster ng Pilipinas.